Hey, how you doing?
Nice to meet you, Logan.
Trevor, man.
Nice to meet you. I'm glad to have you here, sir.
Happy to be here.
All right. So, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. To start off. What accomplishments have given you the most satisfaction?
I'd say I've been in multiple like choirs and just musical groups all my life.
Okay.
I'm a very musical person, and also I was class president
Okay.
of my senior year.
Okay.
And that took a lot of work too, so
Okay.
it's definitely one of my biggest accomplishments.
Okay. And what's a major challenge you faced and how you overcame it?
Ooh, that's a good question. I gotta say the biggest challenge I faced was moving from Vegas to here.
Oh,
So I
okay.
lived there for 17 years, and
Okay.
I was really mad about it at first. I was blaming my parents because who wants to move from their hometown
Yeah.
after 17 years? But I just realized that it was important and like that I need to move because
Yeah.
COVID hit and my parents would have lost their job.
Yeah.
So it just happened at the right time, and I was actually grateful. The people here are much better, so I love
Yeah.
it here.
Well, I'm glad you're in a greater spot now.
Yes, sir. I love it.
So name a time that you had to step in and take matters into your own hands.
Ooh. Let's see.
So anytime, you had to take over the situation
Yeah.
and take it into your own hands.
Um,
Maybe at work, maybe at home, with family.
yeah. Oh, my dad got brutally sick with pancreatitis, and my mom was out of town.
Oh, wow.
So I had to take care of my sister for like an entire week straight while my dad was bedridden. But I got it all done.
Well, I hope your dad's doing better. It's horrible.
Yeah, he's getting better.
That's good. What's your stance on striving to make others successful? How do you look to help people around you, be successful?
I like to have someone be successful is you need to build trust with them first.
Okay.
So what I do is I first get close to them on a personal level. So if it were my students, for example, and they wanted to talk about something personal or just getting to know them, it really builds that trust, and eventually they'll start working with you more if you're complying with them.
Yeah.
So building bonds definitely helps students and just people in general be successful.
Okay.
In a positive way, obviously. So if
Okay.
you're always positive, it will always be beneficial to them
Mm-hmm.
and lead them to be a better person.
Yeah. Okay. Name a contributing aspect that really makes you who you are today.
One of the biggest aspects is definitely the people I'm around, my family. The gym definitely makes me who I am today. I love going to the gym, and it just sets my mind straight. And and also, like I said before, one of the biggest aspects of that is moving from a town from where I lived for most of my life. It definitely matured me a lot. It changed my aspect of everything.
Okay. So this is more than just a job. Describe to me what you think this job really is and what it entails, what you expect.
I definitely expect there to be challenges, but I just can't wait to like get into that classroom setting and be able to get to know my students and just
Okay.
I know it's gonna take a lot of work too, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll be able to get it done.
Okay. What are your greatest strengths?
I'd say my greatest strengths is definitely talking to people. I'm a very like you could come to me with anything, and I'll always be open to you.
Okay.
And that goes for my students too, is I feel like there's some teachers that just aren't very like sociable with their students, and that makes it harder for them to learn and get past that class, and just like it makes it harder for them to like you too. So
Okay.
you have to be able to do that, what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And what would be your true definition of a true leader?
A true leader
Yes.
is someone who like I said before, just takes initiative in the situation and researches and knows more than the average, so they can teach and guide the other students and just other people.
Okay. Okay. Are you more sociable and direct, or do you keep most things to yourself? How do you go about that?
Yeah, definitely more social.
More social.
Yeah.
I can tell. Yeah. Okay.
Love talking.
You love talking. Okay. Um, so like with work, you're more of a social person on when you're working. Okay.
I love I don't like usually I don't like working alone. It gets very boring, and because of my ADHD, I want to I need to be busy all the time. I hate sitting and watching the time fly. So if there's people there to also help me do my job and get my job done, it's a lot more enjoyable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I really like being in classroom environments and stuff, especially around kids, because their jokes are hilarious. So I love being around that.
I was gonna say, what's more valuable to you, your own time or your others' time, the people you work with?
Yes, my time is valuable, but I'd say, in a leader standpoint, or just like in a work standpoint, it's others' time that is over yours, because especially in a classroom, if you're just trying to get through the class and finish it up, and you're not really teaching your students thoroughly, it's not going to really help the situation at all either. So it's definitely other people's time is more valuable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you familiar with online programs as well as how to navigate online?
Oh yeah. I've been using technology most of my life, especially I used to use D2L, that website you guys use. So it's pretty common to me. That's easy.
What would you say your main way of coping with stress is? Stresses from school.
Coping with stress. It's definitely changed over the years. I had to really change the way I cope with my stress. I usually just put on light music. So if I'm in a classroom environment, or if I come into like a class and I'm feeling stressed before going to the class and I have to teach, usually like when the assignment starts for the classroom, it also helps the students. What I've seen too, is if you put on some light music while you're working, it calms a lot of your stress down.
Okay.
And your focus, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That helps a lot.
A student of yours, say, is breaking down before entering class, and apologies for not completing the last night's assignment. How do you address that student?
First of all, I would be there for them in a sympathetic way, because you can't, as a teacher, you can't shut them down, because then after that experience, they won't want to ever work with you again.
Yeah.
So you have to be there for them in that situation and work with them.
Yeah.
And find an outcome that would help both you and him. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, let's say a student is contributing less and less during your class. How do you address that student to change his outlook within the classroom?
I would start probably, if I start noticing it over and over, I would start probably getting on him more, a little more. I would ask him probably like, hey, like, what did we review today? What is your, like, do you have any questions from today? Like, I make sure he's got the content down.
Maybe some pop quizzes.
Yeah, stuff like that.
See where they're at.
Exactly.
Okay. How do you strive for your classroom to be viewed as?
Definitely a community environment. I don't want to be like chopped up and like, I don't want there to be one side of the class that doesn't talk, and then there's one side of the class that talks, and there's that one side of the class that talks way too much. It needs to be like all community environment where everyone gets to know each other and knows each other. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because that in the classroom, it's as well as work. It's like teamwork is the most important thing.
Okay.
And communication with each other, it makes it more enjoyable for everyone.
Okay. And from a business standpoint, what are your salary requirements for yourself?
From a position like yours, what would you expect the salary to be?
I'd expect around 50 to 60 a year.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, perfect, man.
Okay. All right, Trevor. Nice having you, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming
Actually,
by.
I have one more question for you, though. What would you say your favorite part of this job is?
My favorite part of this job is, working with everyone, just having a team leadership, and just building a community, being with everyone, getting these students prepared for, their futures. So that's what it's all about.
One of my favorite things is like seeing my students elevate in like 5 years to see where they are.
Yes.
After you teach them, I
Of
love
course.
that. See that in a positive way. So.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, man.
Well,
Thank you so much.
pleasure having you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Of course.